Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if you can hear my audio and see my screen in the chat box. Hope everybody's having a pretty good morning so far. Hopefully your trading has been going well. Um, let's jump into our disclaimer. There are a couple of opportunities lining up, and so I do want to see if we can hop into those. Okay, so as always, I just need to remind you about the risks involved in the market. You can lose all or more than your initial investment if you're not careful. So please be aware of how big your lot size is, how many pips you're risking on each trade, and ultimately how that would affect your account if you were to lose money. So go through that process each and every time you take a trade. All right, guys. So we do need to be aware today's kind of a heavy news day, but not with the pairs that we're trading. So we do have um, FOMC meeting, rate statement today at noon, Mountain. So, they're going to raise rates, 0.75% again. Now, the thing is that rate hike has already been priced into the market weeks ago. So bond market investors have already brought bonds down, thus causing yields to go up. So as long as the expectation takes place, nothing too crazy should happen in the market today. Now, if for some reason they go higher than the 4% Fed funds rate that they're expecting, or if they go lower, like than the expectation, then you're going to see some chaos today around noon Mountain to 2 p.m. Eastern. So now the thing is, we should be out of our trades by then, hopefully. Today we do want to try to be out of our positions if possible, but nonetheless, there is no news regards to the euro. There is no news in regards to the franc, and there is no news on the pound. So a London banker's close, I believe, is still a solid opportunity, and we can hop into that right now. So I have already, well, on my other account, I just barely took a position long on the euro franc. You could also trade the euro pound long, but yeah, let me go ahead and grab just a couple of positions down here. This appears to be a opportunity to buy the euro franc. So I'm going to go ahead and add several positions here. And then our target on this, again, when you're targeting the banker's close, you want to look for the mid Bollinger Band. So, which is really tight right now. So honestly, I think it'll go more than that. But again, you can see the pin bar candle right here. We're getting a huge rejection. So this should go. We should see this run, which is great. I mean, a minimum target would be, like I said, this mid Bollinger Band. That seems really conservative to me. So I'm going to say, I'll put a target there, but the rest of these I'm going to scatter above that. Just because we got to make some money today, right? This seems more logical to me. Something out here makes more sense. Okay, so and actually that euro pound looks like a good opportunity. I'm half tempted to grab that guy too. We may grab multiple, if this happens, if we get our profit quickly on this pair, we may take multiple opportunities, but it just kind of depends on what comes out today. So, but so far looks good. I mean, we've got a pin bar candlestick here. It came down immediately. The investors did not like that, so they bought that up really fast, right? That's, if you learn how to read these candlesticks, it tells you a story, and the story behind this candlestick is very obvious. Hey, we got a move lower, and immediately the banks were like, yeah, no, we're doing something else. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean it can't come back down, but it's a telltale sign that, hey, they, at this hour of the day, we shouldn't be rejecting that level anymore. Okay, so while I'm out here, let's draw out our levels. so we know. Oh, another quick piece of analysis that I just noticed. We are seeing a type of slowing momentum, right? It's taking longer and longer for the market to create these lows. That's a good sign. That's a good sign if you're buying. Yeah, I like that. By the way, I'm just gonna, I think this euro pound looks really good. I'm really itching to buy this. I'm just gonna add a couple of trades here. I know that's not the one we're really managing, but I really like the way this one is set up. I like the level that it's at. So I'm just going to buy a couple of trades there. Nothing huge, just to be clear, but our focus is still on this euro franc. I was just looking at my watch list over here, and it looks like that pair is going to have a nice setup this morning. But yeah, I'm still focused on that euro franc. Okay, and let's see, what are we doing? Okay, so what I want to do now is figure out levels. So I want to go back in history and find out, okay, hey, how far does this thing go down if it wants to head lower before it comes back up? So there is a nice level of support right here. So if the market wanted to punch lower, it would likely find some confluence in this area right here. So that's why I'm going to draw that level. And then in the past as well, it looks like there's another level of confluence right through here. And then for a final level to draw out, I'm going to say right there. So if the market wants to break down this morning before it comes back up, these are the levels I would want to add pretty heavily into, and then we'd get our move that we're waiting for. So, and then I've already drawn out where my targets are this morning. So I think we're good to drop into a 1-minute chart now that we have those higher time frame levels all drawn out. Okay. By the way, Sam, I'm for anybody else showing up, we are buying the euro franc this morning. And alternatively, you could buy the euro pound. It's a very similar setup. But this is the one that we have, kind of taken an interest in early, is the euro franc long. And again, these are my levels. So all of this is fair game. It could come all the way down to here before we get our move up that we're going to wait that we want. So make sure you have enough gunpowder, make sure your position's not too big to the point where you could not participate in these lows that could come, because this is where you would make your money, is on the turnaround from these lows. So, make sure that you don't over leverage whatever that is. So just to be clear, to kind of give you guys some guidance, like here's what I do. Like I have a rule on the euro franc. I've got all my rules written out up here for each pair, because every pair is a little different in the way that it moves, how far it moves. And this is all done through back testing that I've done and through forward testing as well. So with the euro franc, I have a personal rule that I'm able to trade up to 40 trades. I don't want to go up to 40 if I can avoid it, but I can trade up to 40 trades. I can trade up to 20 contracts, which would be $2 million in leverage. So that would be $200 a pip. And my starter position is up to 10 trades. So if I want to take a trade, I'm able to start as big as 10 positions, which would be 500K. So because I take a half a contract per trade, so which is 50,000 units, or 50 micro lots, however you want to look at it. And that's the starter position. Sometimes we only take the starter position because the trade just goes in our favor right away. If it doesn't go in our favor right away, like most days, we have to work it a little bit. I can add up to 30 more trades max. I would say I almost never get up to that 40 trade maximum, but I will trade. It's pretty common. You guys have seen me do this, an extra 10 to 20 trades in addition, in addition to the starting position. So that's kind of my risk management. There's a little freestyle to it within rules. So I have specific rules, as you know, I just told you what those are. With a max stop loss of 40 pips on all of these trades. When I'm trading the Euro franc, it's different. The stop loss is different if I'm trading the pound franc, and it's different if I'm trading the Aussie Kiwi for the Sydney close. So I have these specific rules, but the ability to have some freestyle inside those rules, right? That's my favorite type of risk management style because I believe the market's not just this linear, it only goes up and it only goes down. As you guys know, the market's kind of up and down, up and down. And because it's up and down, um, um, it doesn't just go straight one way or straight the other way. That's why I believe, and that's why oh, 1 second, guys, I gotta grab this. I gotta grab this. This happens so quickly sometimes. Jeesh, that was quick. I'm glad we got a couple of trades on that. 1 second. Speaking of, I have this little, because I do take a lot of trades, I just downloaded this last night. It's an app. It's a counter, so I can count how many trades I've taken. Because I allow myself to take many trades, I have to keep track of how many I've got. 1 second. I gotta, on my other account over here, my 200K account, I gotta count how many trades I've got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 42, and then 6, 7, 8. So I got 8 trades on so far on the on my other funded account. So I just keep track of that right here. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, I can click that and it counts for me, which is really awesome. So, I'm up to 8 trades, and that way I can just kind of keep track of where I'm at. Okay, so far so good. That happened so quick. Dang, I wish I had grabbed a few more, but that's all right. We're personally on this account up 32 pips, 0.10%. Like I said, I'm gonna let this run just a little bit more. Actually, I'm gonna close out like my worst price trade. That's the euro pound. I'm gonna leave that guy. Gosh, that level. This is what we talked about, this pin bar concept. When you get a market that just comes down quick and immediately rejects, it's just a sign that the market is um well, it's a little bit it's kind of obvious now that the market wants to break higher, right? Anyway, I'm going to bring some of these targets in just a little bit. Give the market something to hit there. All right, and on my other account, I closed out of just a couple of trades, so I'm down to 6 positions or 3 contracts. Okay, we just hit another target right there. That was sweet. I'm actually down to just 3 positions now on the euro franc. I still have my euro pound trade, which, by the way, looks okay still. Like, that doesn't look like a bad setup. Looks like it's going to be one of those quicker days. Like we're going to make our money a little bit faster. Okay, I'm down to 5 trades on my other account. I just closed out of another with that most recent impulse. And I think I'm going to close out of, oh no, we just hit another target. Sweet. Okay. Well, actually, probably need to hold these then. Let these run a little bit more. Yeah, the way I'm seeing a lot of stuff line up right now, I think the Euro Frank's going to go on a tear to the upside. Here's why I think this, guys. So, jumping over to my other account here, my scanner. If you look at the Euro Franc, it's already it's already on its way up, right? Which is great, right? We've already got that move. And then if you look at the Euro Pound, it's lagging up. When this one goes up, the Euro Franc should go up too, but this one's lagging. And so when this one goes up more, that's just going to send the Euro Franc even higher. And then when you look at the Pound Franc, this guy, when this guy goes, well, actually, this one's doing fine. When this one goes up, the Euro Franc should go up as well. This is awesome. I'm going to close out of one more trade. That is good. Some good, sweet profits right there. That is awesome. You know what? I'm going to just take one last trade here, this Euro Franc, and then I'm going to leave this last one here, my best price trade. I am going to leave this guy. I'm going to bring my stop loss to break even now on that final trade with the Euro Franc. And then I am going to let this guy kind of, I mean, why not? Let's see if this guy can get up here today. It's totally possible, totally possible. I just want to see it. All right, and then I'm going to just on my other account, I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing over here too. I am going to bring stop losses to break even as well on these last 2 trades. I'm actually going to just put them just above break even. Actually, before I do that, come on. Why are you doing this? I don't really like MT4, to be honest. Put that guy up there. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these guys right here, both of them just above break even. And then I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this in just a second. I kind of like both of these target levels. Actually, I'm going to put one that's a little more conservative, like right here, just above this, or just right on this candlestick body. These bodies right here seems to be a lot of confluence right in that area. And then I'm going to put my last target up here, just good old resistance up here. If these guys win, that is an average of an extra 18 pips of profit at $10 a pip. So that's going to be an extra $180 of profit if we can hit that. I am kind of sacrificing, the unrealized 108 that I have left, $108 that I have left. But I'm doing this because if you go back in history and look at most FOMC meetings, most FOMC meetings have I went back and looked at a lot of FOMC meetings last night in the past. Just part of the reason I did that is because I wanted to see if today was a good day to trade this. And from what I could tell, as long as you're not trading the dollar on a rate statement day, it's going to be a good day for the bankers close. Obviously, it was. We made our money in like 20 minutes. I wish I had made more. I always say that every day, right? I wish I had made more, but I can't complain either. This is really good. But what I saw when I was back testing FOMC meetings is that a lot of the times going into the FOMC meeting, there's the possibility of being able to make a lot of extra profits if you can capture this low at the start of the banker's close hour. So I believe it's possible. I'm not saying it will happen, but based off of what I've seen, there have been a lot of currency pairs in the past where if you catch this low here or the high, whatever it is, you may get a follow through runner going into FOMC meeting. If we get pretty close to our target, this final target, in 2 hours when the rate statement comes out, yeah, I'll send you a Telegram update letting you guys know like, hey, I've closed, but I'm going to leave this trade to ride. It's a free trade at this point. It's halfway to this more greedy target. We're sitting hot today. It's really awesome. So that's kind of my plan there. Like I said, I don't know if that will happen, but it is kind of my goal with it. Okay, so the euro pound, what is going on there? It's down 1 pip, not a huge deal, but I wanted to know why is it down? I'm thinking this guy's really slow. I'm gonna just take the loss, the 1 pip loss, and then just because I don't want to deal with it at this point. And I'm just gonna focus on that euro franc. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this guy fly up to his target and go from there. And yeah, let these guys ride. Make if we can make an extra. Let's see, 1 second. This is the wrong guy. Yeah, I'd let like I said, it'd be an extra 18 pips we're asking the market to go. I think it's possible based off of the entry that we have right down here. And they're not, these entries are on the wicks too. Like they're not, I mean, they are some of the best entries where we bought down there, some of the best entries. So yeah, I definitely think the possibility of getting up to here is possible. Real quickly, I know this webinar happened really fast. I'm glad you guys came early. Sometimes the early bird gets the worm. Today was definitely one of those days. Doesn't happen every day, but somebody who shows up now, you missed it. You missed the trade today, right? Like, it just happened really, really fast. We got our money and we got out. But let me show you 1 second here. If you guys are curious, I want to show you last night's trade and kind of how it went. So, as you guys know, I trade this exact same phenomenon for Tokyo and Sydney. Okay. There was a lot of news with Kiwi last night and today. If you look at the lineup for news, there's actually quite a bit. There's basically the equivalent of Jerome Powell, but in New Zealand, is speaking today, this afternoon, around 2 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Mountain. And So I just try to avoid that. You know, there's a bank holiday in Japan tonight, so I may not be doing a lot of Tokyo and Sydney trades. In fact, I might get some of my sleep back because I've been up every day for the last several weeks. But if you look at last night, there was some news on the Kiwi as well, unemployment news. And there was some actually CAD news as well, which is kind of interesting that late in the day. But yeah, it's just dollar news and Kiwi news. So I didn't trade the Kiwi, but I was able to trade the Aussie and I was able to trade the yen. Again, what are the rules with the banker's close strategy? It's always important to review some of these rules, right? If you're going to take a banker's close trade, you cannot have had news with the pair that you're trading within the last 12 hours. Okay, that's one rule. The other rule with news is that there cannot be any significant news coming up in the next 12 hours. Okay. I added this rule probably 4, 5, 6 months ago, and it's just changed the strategy in such magnificent ways. Okay. Because the banker's close is going to happen. It has to happen naturally, like just almost scientifically, it has to happen from an economic standpoint. The science of economics, it has to happen. But it won't happen if there's some other thing driving the market. If the move is justified, if a big move down is justified, forget about the banker's close. If a big move up is justified, forget about the banker's close. Same thing today, you know, let me give you an example. Right. The expectation with rates today is a 0.75 interest rate hike. Again, the bond market's already priced that in. You know, sure, there will be some volatility. Yes, but it won't be like it'll be over in 5 or 10 minutes if as long as Jerome doesn't say anything crazy in his post conference. Nothing, it'll be just normal. But on occasion, they give us a curveball and they surprise us. And right now, everyone is so interest rate sensitive, like everybody is. So doesn't matter if you lower rates, or let's say they still raise rates, but it's not to the amount that they said that it was going to be, or maybe they raise rates more than they said that they were going to do. That's what's going to cause the absolute chaos in the market. We don't want to be in the market if that happens, right? Now, I'm okay trading, leaving a trade on like I've got here. My stop losses are break even, and it's on a pair that doesn't even have anything to do with those markets. So I feel pretty good staying in this, and I'm now up $147 extra on what we already made this morning. So my account was flattened this morning. I was at 200K, so I'm now up $452 today. It's actually kind of a slower day, as you guys know, but I'm still happy with it, assuming because there was a lot of news and I've been a little bit hesitant to take certain positions, but you know, hey, we're in a good spot. Okay. So that's the deal with news. So anyway, back to the charts, because I wanted to show you, let me go to my Tokyo profile. So Tokyo overview, here it comes. So these are all the currency pairs that I trade during Tokyo. So if you look here, this was it last night. So let me show you. So right here, is the opportunity. This line right here, that vertical line, let me get rid of some of these other lines actually real quick. Object line, indicator list, objects, horizontal, delete, 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 delete. Perfect. Okay. This line right here is the London Open. Okay. And then right after that, this is the Tokyo close right there, an hour later. You know, we get the break in the Bollinger Band right here, break in the Bollinger Band, and then the subsequent increase in price, right? Now, what's scary is sometimes, again, this is where you have to take courage, right? Like you really do have to take some courage with these trades. Like, how many times have you ever taken these and, you know, the trade goes against you a little bit? Like my signal to enter was right here. And yeah, it's like a violent candlestick, you know, pretty big move down. In a lot of cases, it's kind of like, oh my God, man, I don't know if I want to take this. This is kind of a scary candlestick. You know, am I going to be okay? But you really do sometimes have to just take that courage and buy into that, because this is the opportunity that's behind it, you know. And just so right at the banker's close hour, you know, a few minutes into it, boom, this happens. And then an hour later, boom, you get all this return, right? That's exactly what you're looking for with the banker's close. I traded the Sydney close as well. Sydney close was 2 hours earlier. So if I go back 2 hours, let me see if I can move this guy. And I'll just draw another line. So this line is the Sydney close. This is an hour before Sydney closes. This is 11 p.m. Mountain to 12 midnight Mountain. If you're on the East Coast, Sam, this would be, for you, this would be 2 in the morning right here. No, excuse me. This would be 1 in the morning. This line is 2 in the morning. So 2 in the morning is the Sydney close. Yep. 2 in the morning Eastern is the Sydney close. This one doesn't have as big of an opportunity, but nonetheless, it still did. You could have technically bought right at the open, the hour before the close, and made money on this move right here. But I think the real opportunity was right at the Sydney close. This is 2 a.m. Eastern, midnight Mountain. You know, there's that little bar right there on the Aussie yen. Boom. You know, you can write that down. Right at, in fact, the high of the day was smack dab, right square on the Sydney close. There's a reason why that happens, right? That actually happens. There's this, not every time. It's not like, oh, every day at the Sydney close, the high of the day. You know, sometimes it's at the London Open. Sometimes it's an hour before the London Open, but usually, I don't know what it is with these banks, but they like to pick the top of the hour or the bottom of an hour, mostly the top of an hour, to pick these highs of the day and lows of the day. And it just so happened to be that on the Aussie yen, the Sydney close was the highest high that the market had made all day, and a short, right? And I'm kicking myself right now, guys, because I was up at midnight last night. I had sales literally right at the top right there. And guess how long I held them? To the mid Bollinger Band right there. I mean, that's the rules, right? That is the rule. I did have a few that I held longer, but it wasn't a big trade, you know, but like that's how far it was, just from there to there. And so I'm kicking myself that I didn't hold on to some of these. And that's why I'm trying to be a little more disciplined to do exactly what we're doing with the Euro Franc right now is, hey, we made quite a bit of money, or at least some money on that first initial trade. Now, can we hold on to break even, or not, excuse me, we have our stop loss at break even now. Can we hold on to this and let this ride out through the rest of the morning, at least into the FOMC meeting, to make a little bit more money, right? I'd like to get some real big runners, some real big winners from that if possible. All right, so that was my trading session last night. Again, Sydney close, perfect little trade, a little bit after the hour before The Tokyo market closed, got this opportunity to buy down here, held to the mid Bollinger Band, maybe a little more. And then you're done, right? Then you're done. I actually I had some trades right down here at this pin bar. I had some buys right there. And I put the stop losses at break even. I went to bed and then I woke up and then those had closed out at those break evens, right? So yeah, I'm trying to practice what I preach, right? So it always stinks when that happens though, right? Like you work really hard, you get some really good trades, you're sacrificing unrealized couple $100 of profit to see if you can expand that to $400, $500, $600 of profit. And then it closes at break even. You're like, dang, I could have at least taken that $200 and gone. But I still think it's worth it because of the amount of extra profit that's possible. I still think it's worth it as long as you've taken at least a good amount of profit before. Like you had several other trades that you closed at that mid Bollinger Band. I think you'll be good. All right, guys. So in recap today, awesome day, very quick day. Doesn't happen as quickly like that all the time. So really cool. Let me switch back over to this is my London overview. Okay, right here, pretty much right at the this is just so awesome, guys. Just so awesome. Right at the top of the hour, we get a low of the day, right at the top of the hour. Okay. And it does have a few more lows that it makes within the first 10 minutes. So yeah, if you came in late, you still had some opportunities to grab some of these down here, and then it just starts flying. And now we're in a really, really, really good spot for the rest of the day. So I'm very, very happy to see this. And now we're just holding. We earned this. You earned this right here. You know, we made some money on that initial move. We held to the mid Bollinger Band like you're supposed to. And now we've just got some runners that we're hanging on to, letting the market do its thing. We're just holding to some of these old resistance levels to see if we can get back up to here, and then we'll clock out. So great day, everybody. Awesome work. Again, we just have a break-even trade going into a FOMC meeting. So we're safe. You know, we're safe. Again, I will probably close this. You'll get an update from me. I'll just probably tell you when I'm closing this, and I'll, make sure you're on Telegram for those of you that aren't. As a reminder for those in the recording and live, here is the Telegram channel that's exclusive for my paying subscribers. And I'm going to put this in the chat box. This is where I give you updates to all the trades I'm taking. Right there. So make sure you join that channel so you can be the first to know if something changes. Well, all right, guys, what an awesome day. Thanks for coming. And we have a COT report tonight if you guys want to come to the COT report class. And then other than that, we'll just see you tomorrow. So thanks for coming, guys.